This is probably the biggest story of the week, not just for AI, but in general. Like everybody's talking about it. But the trial began this week on April 28th. Musk versus Altman, the trial of the century, the case that could tear OpenAI apart. The Elon Musk versus Sam Altman trial opened, and apparently Musk is accusing Altman of stealing a charity that he helped start back in 2018. So he is seeking $130 billion in damages, the removal of Altman and Brockman from OpenAI, and a forced return to nonprofit structure. Altman was in the courtroom, so they're both there in person, as was Microsoft's CEO. And Musk co-founded OpenAI, sorry, not back in 2018, but 2015 as a nonprofit. A lot of people are surprised to hear that still. I didn't know it until after OpenAI launched, but he gave at least $38 million in early funding and recruited the founding team. He then left in 2018 after a power struggle over who would run the company, and OpenAI created a for-profit subsidiary in 2019 after he left. And Musk's claim is that Altman, Brockman, and Microsoft unjustly enriched themselves by converting a charity into a into a for-profit seeking enterprise worth $850 billion. So his lawyers said that they stole a charity. This other unit that they spun off became the dominant part of the organization, kind of eclipsing this nonprofit fund structure that they originally intended to use. And Musk's lawsuit apparently is motivated by jealousy and competitive interest. He is now launching a competitor with, XAI and SpaceX, this Goliath that he created. So it is a competitor, but he wants to see Sam Altman put out of business. He wants to see OpenAI return to its humble roots as a nonprofit. It's a massive. It's only day 3, but so far we've seen Musk joking around on stand, refusing to answer questions. Altman has not gone up to talk yet, but I don't know how long this trial is going to go for. I don't know how realistic it is that OpenAI will just get dissected and replaced. I think there's too much money on the line. There's trillions of dollars at play here, so I don't think they're going to just remove Altman and dissect this company. But who knows? Stranger things have happened. I think this is probably the story of the year if we're being honest about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is definitely the story of the year. We're talking about OpenAI, which is maybe one of 2 private companies that may IPO above $1 trillion. And it's no lie that, Elon Musk did come up with the idea. He came up with a name, he recruited the people, and he provided the initial funding. This was all him in the beginning. And that's well documented. And so he does have a very strong claim to some ownership of OpenAI. My guess is that, he's aiming for the removal of Altman and Brockman and the reversion of OpenAI back to a nonprofit structure. But he's aiming high because he's probably going to be getting something a little bit lower. And what I would anticipate is that he's going to be getting a large chunk of ownership of OpenAI, which is a great hedge for him in this AI race that we're seeing right now, especially with his company XAI, etc. He is gunning for, I believe it said $130 billion potential ownership of the company. I'm not sure how accurate that is. I might have misread that, but that would take his own personal net worth from like $850 billion to potentially past $1 trillion. And so that might be the more realistic outcome of this. Obviously, it's going to completely restructure OpenAI's cap table. I know they've been constantly raising funding over the past several years, and they just announced another funding round past $850 billion, I think a couple of weeks ago. So it is going to shake the foundations of OpenAI, but I don't think it'll tear the company apart. I think that's good for headlines. We will see some changes internally. I don't think Sam Altman is going away anytime soon. But yeah, I mean, it's about time we got here because, Musk did put the majority of the funding into OpenAI in the beginning stages. So he has a very strong claim.
Yeah, I mean, we saw like Sam Altman did get replaced before and then they brought him back. So he has become a lightning rod. So at some point they might replace him if it means, justifying that multi-trillion dollar IPO that they're going for. But I think Musk is not going to win like part of the company. He's going to get $130 billion in restitution or damages, and then hopefully revert the company back to a nonprofit where there will be none of this will be relevant. There'll be no ownership. It'll just be a nonprofit again. But yeah, that'll get messy. There's been a lot of billions and hundreds of billions of dollars poured in by Microsoft and Amazon and Nvidia. So like we've been talking about this incest puddle for a long time and how all these companies are investing in each other. You can't separate quite easily after this happens. So I think they're going to take that into consideration when they weigh this in court. But who knows? I'm going to be excited to see what happens. I'm not rooting for any side in particular here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think all the arguments are flawed on all the ends. It was impossible to keep OpenAI a nonprofit at that stage and grow the company and continue to do the research. They needed money, and they needed to bring in money through investors. So a lot of this is going to come to light, and I think we're going to see some crazy headlines coming.
OpenAI is co-developing a custom smartphone with Qualcomm and MediaTek. Luxshare is the exclusive manufacturing partner. So interesting to get this information, not from OpenAI itself, but some experts in the supply chain. Pretty interesting. A weird pivot for OpenAI, but who knows? All these tech companies and AI companies are trying to do everything at once.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. I think this came off the news that OpenAI had missed some revenue targets over the past quarter. So I'm not sure like how serious this is, but it must be pretty serious because Qualcomm's stock, I believe, surged more than 10% on the report. I mean, claiming that they're going to ship 300 to 400 million devices a year. For comparison, Apple is shipping 200 to 300 million iPhones a year. So I don't know if OpenAI is suddenly going to overtake the iPhone as, phone of the century, but probably not. It's very interesting though, because this is very, very kind of like hype and exciting when you think about, we've been drawing analogies from current state of AI to like sci-fi movies and books over the past 100 years. And it's something that many people have been kind of like thinking of in the back of their minds, especially with the movie Her that came out. This is essentially a device that is, it's going to serve as like your sidekick. If it's just a device with an agent on it, you're going to be speaking to it and asking it to do things. From a user interface and user experience perspective, it's something I would never do. That seems too burdensome. I wouldn't want to just like talk to a piece of metal all day to get things done. I kind of like using my thumbs. At the same time, it does pose some risk because I don't think ChatGPT and OpenAI have worked out all the kinks out of their models. So it's like having a sidekick that's constantly reassuring you that you're pretty and that you're handsome and that you're doing all the good things and hallucinating for you. Like, it doesn't sound like a very good friend to have in your corner at all times of the day. But again, I think they had to pivot and do something. It's going to be interesting to see how this rollout goes. And maybe it's going to shift the smartphone landscape for the future to come. Who knows?
Yeah, and I think what was it? Last week we were talking about the exact opposite. Apple just Tim Cook stepped down, retired, and they brought in a new guy to lead Apple into the AI future. And Apple is notoriously bad with AI so far. They're way behind the other Mag 7 companies in the AI race. So they're moving into improving the AI on their devices, whereas OpenAI is like, we have good AI already. Let's build devices. Let's get competitive in these other areas. So it looks like all these companies are becoming the same company, just competitors.
Absolutely. The trial against Elon Musk wasn't the worst thing that happened to Sam Altman last week, apparently. We're talking about OpenAI missing its revenue targets. I mentioned that before. Wall Street Journal reported on Monday that they missed their internal goal of 1 billion weekly active users and its own revenue targets. 1 billion active users is wild, by the way. We're talking about like Facebook's social media status. The CFO, Sarah Fryer, warned colleagues the company may not be able to pay its computing contracts if revenue growth does not accelerate. As a result, Oracle stock price fell 5%, CoreWeave fell 7%, SoftBank fell 10% overnight. And the Wall Street Journal is reporting that people familiar with the matter are stating ChatGPT growth slowed at the end of last year, and that is the result of what we're seeing right now. So the company's $100 billion deal with NVIDIA fell apart separately. There's a lot of strife on the plate for OpenAI, and especially with this lawsuit with Elon Musk pending. It seems like the company can be in some very, very dire financial status right now. So OpenAI did push back publicly, saying that it has steady momentum across enterprise and consumer products. They highlighted the breakout growth of Codex, and we do know that they did announce the launch, or at least the intention of launching a hardware device that some reporters are claiming is going to be an agent-based smartphone. So, a lot happening here, but not good for the people that have been, kind of just riding through this AI bubble. This is the first big crack in what we've seen so far when it comes to the AI landscape.
Yeah, and like literally last week we talked about the solo paradox, where thousands of CEOs are saying AI has not had that productivity bump or impact that they've been hoping for. And now the company that is supposed to be delivering that productivity is missing its own user revenue targets, which is a little bit worrying. And I think this also kind of harkens back to this whole mess with the Anthropic White House DOD contract, where everybody was flaming them for working so closely with the U.S. government. Everybody was switching over to Anthropic and Claude because they had a moral backbone and they stood up to the government, which ironically they've quietly come back to and taken a seat at the table again, and they're working with the U.S. Government and they're collaborating once again. But anyways, I saw this huge migration of users from ChatGPT to Claude. I think we reported it several times on this show, and I think this is just that coming to fruition. So also on top of that, they had $600 billion in spending commitments and another $200 billion in expected losses before profitability. So that's like a massive structural problem. And ironically, we're just talking about it. This was a nonprofit before. Now it's a for-profit company that's just hemorrhaging money. I don't know how long they can afford to do that while they let others catch up. China, other companies like Anthropic, Google is getting more and more impressive day after day. So it's not looking great for them right now. I don't know how they come out of this alive.
I'm not sure either, man. It's a rough time. And even more rough news, huh?
Yeah. Well, not so rough. This is more OpenAI news. We told you we had a lot of OpenAI news today, but this one's not as bad. But OpenAI is breaking up with Microsoft, and they have gone with Amazon as their new cloud partner, which is pretty big because Microsoft was backing them completely. I think this was also part of why Elon has such a big problem with Sam Altman and OpenAI, is because he despises Microsoft and Bill Gates. So OpenAI just ended its exclusivity agreement with Microsoft this week and brought its models to Amazon Cloud, working with Jeff Bezos' Amazon. Microsoft has been OpenAI's exclusive partner for cloud partner since 2019, I believe. And that relationship essentially just ended, and Microsoft even invested over $13 billion in this. So like we said, messy divorces all around, a lot of funding from this incestuous circle of tech companies and AI companies. When you break things up, it's way messier than any average divorce can be. So OpenAI and Microsoft have been exclusive, and all OpenAI models have been run through Microsoft's Azure, and that exclusivity is now gone. I don't know what this means for them, to be honest. Like, I don't know if that means they can go with anybody or have multiple partners, polyamorous, if you will. But the strategic logic for OpenAI is like reducing dependency on a single cloud provider, lowers cost, and increases negotiating leverage. So when your CFO is worried about paying compute contracts, having two cloud giants competing for your business certainly helps. That much is clear. So the timing is notable. Microsoft is simultaneously a defendant in that Musk trial that we just mentioned and accused of aiding OpenAI's alleged breach of charitable trust. So this is Game of Thrones type drama in the tech world in Silicon Valley. Like it's exciting, and I would rather them kind of infight and distract each other so they don't take over the world as quickly as they are right now.
I mean, like it feels like backstabbing. It might not be backstabbing. This might have been a smart move coming out of OpenAI, especially in light of missing their internal revenue targets. I know that there's a lot of speculation behind this. As a result of this news, Microsoft's stock dropped like dramatically. I don't know how much, but then it seems to have bounced back. Maybe that was just the market overreacting. But the signal that it is telling potential investors, especially when OpenAI plans on IPOing, is that they want to be a little bit more competitive about these contracts. that exclusivity or they were granting to Microsoft, maybe that came with the investment that they had put into the company. But now they need to think a little bit more about reducing their operational expenses. And to do that, they need to look for more competitive solutions for cloud hosting. And whether that's AWS, Microsoft, or whoever, they're going to make the best financial decision for their company, which is what people want to see when a company misses those financial targets. Now, it doesn't take away from Microsoft's ownership of the company. Of course, you mentioned that they are supporting them in the lawsuit. They are actually being accused of helping facilitate that stealing of a charity. But yeah, Microsoft's original, $13 billion they invested, that they've seen incredible appreciation and value over the past year or two from that original investment. So they shouldn't be too unhappy. But again, I think you mentioned, and the news did state that like half of their cloud service revenue was anticipated to come from OpenAI. So that's a massive hit on that business.
Oof. Yeah, it must be awkward in court right now. You're fighting Elon Musk, and you're also like looking over each other like, I hate you, man. You're killing me right now.
Wild. Killing me indeed.